there's a scene that is raising concerns from fans, and pretty much people is demanding answers from none other than WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelberg. Let me pull up this picture right here, guys, because this one right here is crazy, bro. I mean, just crazy.
The WNBA genuinely believed that footage showing Ryan Howard literally pushing Caitlin Clark to the ground would go unreported. Is this unbelievable? Ryan Howard refused to let her get off the ground when she attempted to do so. The referee was standing there as if they were witnessing a whole different sport, and Howard was essentially acting as a bodyguard to keep Clark down. But for whatever reason, the officials don't consider this a foul. People, this isn't even the sole video from the game.
Caitlin Clark gets pushed around, thrown to the floor during games, and teammates are standing there just looking, not doing anything. Sophie Cunningham will do something. While other players get a microphone put in front of them, doing their media interviews, while they regurgitate the same nonsense, the same word salad that Stephanie White lies says, Sophie Cunningham will say, no.
Here's the worst part, though. In that particular game, it didn't even occur once. Not even close. You would think Caitlin Clark was trying out for a position on an NFL offensive line because of how frequently she was jostled, held back, pushed, and shoved. Yes, she did eventually receive a few foul calls that went her way. Perhaps the referees were aware that the cameras were indeed rolling. However, 3 more obvious holds, shoves, and hacks were disregarded for every whistle. The league appears to be perfectly happy to allow it to continue as it has become a routine.
And this is the picture right here that has went viral. Yeah, this is the storybook of Caitlin Clark's season, bro. That's just all I can say. Look at this. Somebody said this shot from the Fever versus the Fever versus Dream game. Look at Caitlin's face as she passes the ball. She's literally on her knees. Somebody's hovering over her back. Somebody said it's 1 in 15 missed foul calls. This is ridiculous. And this right here shows you that the WNBA referees has a hidden agenda against Caitlin, bro. It's just simple as that.
Contacting Caitlin Clark is something that opposing teams adore. They are well aware of their actions. The referees are too afraid to call fouls on Clark, they discovered. However, why? Is it because she is the league's spokesperson? Are they envious of her for giving women's basketball such a high profile?
So, the big way they were able to neutralize Caitlin Clark, and I think it was almost an issue with Stephanie White as much as anything, is they were manhandling her. They were manhandling Caitlin Clark early in that game. Like, they had 2 hands on her. They were fully getting into the we are grabbing her and we don't really care. Like, that was their goal. Their goal was they were out there to maul Caitlin Clark. They had they had absolutely no intention of doing anything other than mauling Caitlin Clark.
It's foolish. To be honest, players treat Caitlin badly, and the statistics support this targeting. In the WNBA, she's been the victim of 17% of all egregious fouls. That is completely absurd when you consider it. This indicates that this one player has been the target of 1 out of every 6 egregious fouls in the league. She is currently setting records everywhere she goes.
They're doing interprosective dancing, bro. Like, this is not real. Like, this, well, it is real, but it shouldn't be real. Somebody said ref was just staring. And Kelsey Mitchell in the background was just standing there. Just staring. Wow, bro. Somebody said these refs not serious at all.
80% of the egregious fouls against Clark were the result of the Chicago Sky. She was flagrantly fouled 4 times out of 5. The grunt job was being done in Chicago. However, this is where things go terribly wrong. The referees continued to overlook these indiscretions in real time, only raising them to serious infractions once the games were over.
Like, they were not out there to play legit defense. They were there to maul Caitlin Clark as much as they possibly could. And realistically, it worked. It worked. Like, it wasn't even like a lot of the stuff was a couple of off-ball fouls, but there were quite a few situations where it was from behind. So you saw pictures like this. They literally had two hands on the back of Caitlin Clark's jersey. So if anytime Caitlin tried to move, it was two hands on her back. She couldn't move off the ball. She was being hacked off the ball, and the referees allow contact with guards off the ball, which they shouldn't.
If you find it entertaining, kindly subscribe. Let's discuss the issues Clark has faced during the season. She has been under a lot of pressure. Gamers are getting away with doing things against her that they wouldn't dare try on other gamers, according to her claim. The physical abuse she endures is more severe than what most celebrities endure. The league has this perverse belief that you should accept any punishment you receive and be happy about it because you are the face of women's basketball. They want Clark to be their cash cow, but they don't mind at all if she gets smashed every night. Everyone seems to be physical with me. According to Clark, they get away with things that most likely other people don't. She is also quite correct. The blatantly clear double standard is offensive to everyone's intelligence.
The Indiana Fever won by 17 points last night. 17. And this is how they played defense against Caitlin Clark all night. Jordan Canada, career game. Over 30 points. She had 6 made threes in the first half. She played defense like this on Caitlin Clark all night, despite the fact that Caitlin Clark played limited minutes. 12 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists, and helping lead her team to a 17-point win. This is how they played defense on her all night.
Stephanie White, the head coach of the Indiana Fever, finally lost it and criticized the referees as being rude. It has been astonishing how disrespectful they have been to Clark and the team. White claims that although the referees behave as though they are witnessing a whole different sport, she has been watching her best player get hammered. Even seasoned athletes like Sophie Cunningham, who was disqualified for standing up for Clark, have spoken out against the bias against him. Cunningham chastised the referees for their consistent failure to shield the biggest star in the league during the season. The situation has become so terrible that Clark's teammates are being kicked out of games for supporting her.
Look at this. Like, what are we doing here? I tell y'all all the time. Every time people play the Indiana Fever, they do too much. Bree Jones almost took out like 3 people that game. Matter of fact, let's watch it again. Watch the clock. And I bet y'all gonna say, oh, it was an accident. Because every time somebody do something to somebody on the Indiana Fever, y'all say it's an accident. I know.
Here's the lovely part, though. Caitlin was resilient despite the frequent fouls. Oh no. She went above and above. She was the reason the Indiana Fever defeated the Atlanta Dream in that match, and by a significant margin. Clark led the attack like a master conducting a symphony, even when her shots weren't falling, going just 17 from three-point range, as the Fever thrashed Atlanta 99-82. She provided 9 assists, controlled the game's tempo, and demonstrated that she is more than just a shooter. Although I am aware that Eshet is there and will fall, I honestly believed that this was definitely one of the finest games in which I simply control the game's entire tempo and the way we must play. Clark stated following the win, "I believe I can be more proud of being a really good floor general tonight than I am of making shots." This crew was in dire need of that. Could you?
You see how easy it is when you just let Caitlin play ball and others follow suit instead of trying to put a square peg in a round hole? This was a tale of two halves. A tale of two halves. A half where the Indiana Fever let Jordan Canada have wide open shots, and a half where they decided to play defense and shut Jordan Canada down and not let Ryan Howard get off.
The Fevers tied for the most points in any half during the previous 7 seasons with their 59 points in the second half, which was also their most points in any half this season. Their second-best performance of the season came from their 99 total points. This was more than just a victory. It was a declaration. On the scoreboard, Clark was busy making the other players appear silly while they tried to rough her up. She is not being hindered by any fouls or hard plays. It's also a good job, since it's likely that players will continue to do it. Since that's all they know how to do when confronted with excellence, they will continue to target her. They are not comparable to her ability, so they turn to shady tactics and cheap shots. However, Caitlin Clark will keep looking fantastic as she wins it for the Indiana Fever and scores 3s. The finest part is that she always gets stronger when they try to break her down. The fire is only fueled by each harsh foul, cheap shot, and no call. Clark is still standing after having to endure everything from eye pokes to body inspections. She continues to hit logo threes, drop dimes, and demonstrate that she is the league's heart and soul in addition to being its face.
She might not get as many open threes as she usually does. She might not get the opportunity to shoot logo threes unless it's in transition, and that's all okay. That's the growth and the physicality of the WNBA. But her drawing attention to herself, either by on ball or off ball, is allowing her teammates to get in good scoring positions and for them to cook and for that, Aerie driving in and dishing to Tasha Howard. Like, there's so many good things going on around Caitlin Clark that even when she's in the corner, they're still able to be successful.
Clark was able to have one of the best rookie seasons in WNBA history in spite of all the aggression and targeting. With 337 assists, she broke the WNBA single-season assist record. With 769 points, she broke the rookie scoring record. She achieved a triple-double, making her the first rookie in WNBA history to do so. Every night, the woman gets beaten up while actually rewriting the record books. With 19 assists in a single game, she broke the record. With 122 three-pointers, she shattered the rookie three-point record. She has been taking actions that have never been taken in professional basketball for women. Clark's influence extends far beyond the abuse she endures on the court. She has been the main contributor to the WNBA's extraordinary rise in popularity and viewership, known as the Caitlin Clark effect. Clark starring games have been smashing attendance and TV ratings records.
Isn't it funny how much the WNBA hates Caitlin Clark? Like, I saw today that they picked Angel Reese to be like the cover athlete for 2K, and I just think it's funny how no one really ever cared about the WNBA. They barely made any money. They actually lost money as a league. They were pretty irrelevant. They had no good TV deals. They had terrible ratings, and all of a sudden they have this godsend, Caitlin Clark. And since she's gotten into the WNBA, the league has gained so much popularity. People actually care about it now. People are going to the games now. Their TV ratings, the money all the players are making, everything's way up, and they just fucking despise her. And yeah, you could argue it's because how talented she is. Like, we've never seen a girls basketball player as talented as she is, but I think it's something different.
With 20,711 spectators, the Indiana Fever's regular season finale set the league attendance record, and the team set a single-season attendance record. Even while she is traveling, Clark's presence has been so captivating that she feels at home at every game. In Atlanta, half of the audience was cheering Clark is the reason for the Fever's success. In her debut season, she is averaging 19.2 points, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game. She is enduring more physical abuse than any other player in the league, and those are all star figures. Her remarkable mental toughness is demonstrated by the fact that she continues to perform at an elite level in spite of the relentless targeting.
The 9th best guard in the league picked up well before half court and then was just grabbed and suffocated all night. This is the defense. 9th best guard in the league.
The fact that the officials keep ignoring clear calls against Clark is simply astounding. After a dead ball, Marina Mabra practically shoved Clark to the ground, preventing him from being ejected. Although it was only a technical foul, such type of non-basketball play should have resulted in an instant dismissal. According to several sources, the referees have come under fire for failing Caitlin Clark. She is being held to a different set of standards than any other league star player. The situation has become so terrible that even prominent figures in the media are criticizing the WNBA for failing to defend their most valuable asset. Clark has shown remarkable composure through everything. She merely responded, "This is a very physical game, and you're going to get pressure," when asked about the physical play. This is basketball played by professionals. It is what it is. To be honest, That's the mindset of someone who is aware that she is being targeted but chooses not to let it influence her performance.
Now, I watched this player get eye gouged. After getting eye gouged, the same person that eye gouged her walked up on her, and at the same time, simultaneously, there was another girl who approached her from the side and knocked her down to the point where she was on the ground. My question to you is, how are you going to fix this? Because I don't understand if this is a referee issue because they can't call out double dribbles and traveling and things like that. I don't know if they just can't see this stuff, so they're not going to do anything about it, or if they're in on it as well.
Are you aware of the true MVPs in this entire scenario? The supporters who have been pointing this out since the beginning. As the data and proof mounted, they have been claiming, "Told you so." One player is responsible for 17% of all egregious fouls, so you don't have to be a basketball specialist to observe the action. The supporters have been calling for improved officiating throughout the season after witnessing Clark be roughed up. They have been advocating for equitable treatment and sharing proof of missed calls. The league might have continued to ignore the targeting if the fans hadn't kept up the pressure. Clark continues to achieve at the top level in spite of everything that has happened to her. She is altering the game, not only playing it. The world is now watching, and rather than attempting to create their own brand of justice, the WNBA referees may actually need to start calling games fairly.
I think I found a real rivalry in the WNBA, and it's not Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, it's Caitlin Clark and Robin Howard. And they've been going at it for years. Recently, they got a lot of attention because they were chirping back and forth after a Fever Dream game. But the thing is, this rivalry actually could be great for the league. You gotta understand, to have a real rivalry, it has to have some layers behind it. It can't be something falsely orchestrated by the media. It needs to be organic. And this one definitely fits the bill.
Given that players will likely continue to try to rough her up, Clark's mental toughness is a good thing. Caitlin Clark, meanwhile, will keep looking fantastic as she makes three-pointers and leads the Indiana Fever in games. She has demonstrated that she can dominate the basketball court regardless of physical violence. Her accomplishments are made the more remarkable by the fact that she has managed to do so much while dealing with this degree of targeting. She is more than just a fantastic player. She is someone who overcame institutionalized discrimination and had an incredible rookie campaign. That is a sign of a true champion. One thing is certain as Clark pursues her job. Whether or not the referees shield her, she will continue to alter the game and break records. She overcame hardship to become one of the greatest players in WNBA history, and the video of her being shoved around will serve as a reminder of that. And she's truly FE because that's precisely who she is.